Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Vilify. Today we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at something a little bit different here for the channel. Now, most of the time when I do videos around here, I do cover Dokkan Battle, but with the oh-so-hype Legends 4th anniversary going on right now, I figured I would go ahead and take a look at something that I know a lot of people are struggling with. This event is the full power battle. Now, granted, I am not a huge Legends player. You know, I'm not out here grinding God rank every time, but you guys can see I've had some pretty good luck here on this 4-year anniversary banner. So I've managed to kind of put together a snazzy little team here. But just kind of to initially go over how to beat this on hard, I would kind of go ahead and go as follows. Jiren is yellow, so a potential setup that you could do for this run in particular, so let me kind of reformat that, right? First and foremost, if you have UI Goku, don't overthink it. He's player 1. Just go ahead, use him. You're ready to go. For Universal Survival Saga, there's actually a couple of different options that you can do. I just noticed that my Lavender is level 1, but what I would recommend that you do, so let me go ahead and reset this, right? Bergamo is runnable. I would not recommend Dispo. It's just one of those things where you kind of want to just throw Bergamo in slot 2 for your Universal Survival Saga supporter. For slot 3, Extreme Fascia is a good option. Kale or Jiren is a really good option. Obviously, you guys can see here I have 6-star Kale, so she's going to work really well. And personally, for the free-to-play unit slot that we use in Unit 4 for the event exclusive, I like to use TN, but Krillin is usable. One thing that I would stay away from is using Goku, as he is purple, so you are kind of SOL in terms of like just having type disadvantage, right? Like I know like the Goku is probably like the most attractive unit to use or anything like that, but TN or Krillin is definitely the way to go. I've had the most success seeing TN. He heals passively throughout the fight. Kale heals on her green card. Vegeta heals with his main ability. Goku heals with his main ability into his ultimate. Stuff like that. Now, just kind of doing stuff like that. If you do not have the UI Goku, I think Corrupted Merge Zamasu is a good option. But if we just kind of go into the battle member, right, and we look at the God key and then we filter it by red, we'd have to see. Can I see who I'm missing in here? No, I cannot. Okay, so the God key options, I don't have that many, as you guys can see, but Corrupted Merge Zamasu would be the first one that jumps off the page to me if you have him. This Revival Goku and Rose Goku Black and stuff like that, they're good for support. If I had Rose Goku Black Zenkai, that'd be really nice, and I could also use Godku on the bench. He would give me, let me see what would happen if I did this. Yeah, that would help a little bit too, so you could just get more HP by running Red God Goku in the on the bench for the support on here, but anything like that I think would work. Like I said, don't overthink it. Now, that was kind of like the basic introduction to the team building portion. I went ahead and recorded my successful run for the hard mode, so when let's go ahead and hop back right over to the gameplay, and I'll give you some advice as we go on over there. Alright, so now that we're back into the gameplay portion, you can see here that, you know, Jiren does have a decent bit of HP here at 107 million. So, opening up the fight, I think that it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because you get to this point where he likes to do his main ability, which basically, essentially, like, it heals him all the way back up, right? So, like, the first, you know, 20 to 30 counts of this fight almost feel worthless. So I'm just kind of getting to the point where it's like, let's get our Rising Rush ready to go. Try and get the all-out rushes in the selection and hope that he does his main ability sooner rather than later, just so we can get rid of it. And you got to make sure that you don't let him do that ultimate on anybody. So when he does, you know, you can see it. It's very visible, right? Like, you get the, in case you don't know for whatever reason, you get the text when he says, you know, I don't care what it's something like, I won't lose to you. It's his main ability, right? You know that his HP is going to go back from like 77 million, near 80 million, all the way back up to 107. So, like I said, it makes everything that you're watching so far, the only point is to get the Dragon Balls and the all-out rushes ready to go. So we're waiting for him to do his ult. There it is. So now that he has that, we're making sure, hit him, make sure he does not get that ultimate ability off to get the kill. And so now we can kind of go ahead and get on the offensive a little bit. So we have, you know, right there, bad misplay by me. You know, the blue card wasn't able to land. So now we have to do our tapping. If you don't know, just take 2 thumbs to the screen, just start going crazy on it, and I can get up to 34. I have another buddy, his strategy is to use his index fingers, and he spams it, but right here, just a timing thing. Go ahead and get your perfects, and then boom, you get the success, and then you get all kinds of damage. So we're getting close, right? And like I think when we get down to around 70 million or so, this is when you're going to get the he's going to do his burst, right? So what I always have been doing is when the burst comes for the initial time, you save the rush until, you know, you do a little bit of damage, and then you hit them with the rush, right? So now you know it's coming. Evade backwards, get out of the way of that, slide forward. You know, that's easy. So now that he has the burst, this is where this is the most important part right here, right? You have to make sure that this burst does not land. You have to do everything in your power to make sure it does not happen. So you'll see that Vegeta does his super attack. I'm doing blasts, I'm doing strikes. Just trying to do as much damage as possible before we do the Rising Rush, so we can make sure that that does indeed get the break. Or if it doesn't, it's very close. So that process, the key to beating this to me is you have to do that twice. The second time is a little bit tougher because there is a good chance you'll be missing a teammate by that point, because the AI is just not smart, and they like to they just like to die on the initial phase before the burst, where it's like evade forward, evade backwards. You know, you just get hit and there's nothing you can do about it. So here, what you're trying to do, because he's already down to 55 million HP because of the rush, right? We want to make sure, I do this right here because it has a Dragon Ball, but we want to try and get back up to those 7 Dragon Balls as soon as possible, right? I don't know how that last one wasn't a perfect, by the way, but yeah, so we're confirmed to get the break right here. And then what we're trying to do is gather up all the Dragon Balls as quick as possible, because we're not going to have that much time in between the first burst and the second burst. So, you know, it's just a matter of making sure that you manage your HP, or, you know, you just kind of manage everything, right? Like, there's a billion things going on at once. I'm going to go ahead and put up a black bar on the screen here in a minute, because I had Do Not Disturb on, yet a text went through. So, don't want to give out that guy's name or anything like that, but his HP is still going down. Yeah, so it's just one of those things, right, where you can watch the Dragon Ball counter on the right? Like, we're just trying to get to that second Rising Rush before the burst happens. So now this is when things get a little bit nerve-wracking, because I'm thinking, like, oh no, we're losing teammates. I'm getting hit. Kale's hit. Tien's down. We don't have the rush. This is looking like all she wrote, right? But Vegeta does his thing. We have an all-out rush. So now it's all just like, it's just a matter of kind of executing, right? Because, you know, it's nowhere near over at this point, but it is definitely getting to that point where it's starting to get scary. So now we have the green card, and I know if we can just get the Rising Rush, we are in business, right? Because we've almost got him almost to halfway down at this point on the bar. So there it is, the blast. We got the Rising Rush. We got to move. Like, we're running out of time. We have nowhere near as much time as we want, but we are moving. So let's see. Boom. And when we get the Rising Rush, I go ahead, and then when the blue card on the Rising Rush is key, right? Because now we're thinking like, all right, 26 million, 25 million, boom, this is going to take him down a decent bit. If you don't get the break, I don't know if this is possible right here, because the burst is going to kill Vegeta, and it's damn near going to kill me probably. So now what I'm thinking is we got the break. If I dodge this and then hit the ult with the perfect vanish and then do the ult, this is going to get us very, very close, right? Because we have the boost damage and all that fun stuff going on. Vegeta's got a decent amount of health, so he can take another hit or two, and we'll be able to survive with that. So boom, now we're down to 7 million, and at this point it's just a spam fest trying to get it done, and that's how you do it. So if you want a too long, didn't read version of what you just saw, it's don't use the all-out rushes until the ability, he pops his main ability, right? Don't use your Rising Rush when it's time to when he's doing the burst. So like when it says attack to stop the burst, that's when you want to do your Rising Rush. Make sure you're collecting Dragon Balls. Don't overcommit to getting as much damage done before he pops his main ability, because he just essentially makes the first portion of the fight like worthless, right? With his main ability, because he just full heals, right? So you go from 107 million to 80 million HP, and then he just goes right back up to 107 million. So yeah, that's basically all I got for you in this one. If you guys want to see more Legends content, please let me know. I figured I would kind of branch out a little bit, because I've done exclusively Dokkan on this channel, but I figured we'll go ahead and get a kind of a different thing going here. I just think it would be fun for the channel just to kind of get a little bit more variety in here, because Dokkan, you know, as much as I love Dokkan, it is kind of tough to just cover only Dokkan. So Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've been able to beat this full power battle, what difficulty you're on, if you beat it on Scream, if you beat it on normal, anything like that. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out when I might post more Legends content in the future. Have a great day, guys. I'm out.